Hi everyone, it's Miss Prestano. I hope everyone is doing well, staying healthy and safe. We miss you guys so much. Um, we're going to start a new unit today. So we're starting westward expansion. So remember that we just finished up the Constitution and the Constitution in practice, checks and balances, strict and loose interpretation, things like that. Okay. So the country is now settled and they have a type of government that is working for them. And now they are going to, as the name suggests, expand westward. So let's take a look at a couple of things before we get into some more specific topics about westward expansion. Before we start, what I would like you to do is to take a look at the image on the right, which is a map, and this is the geography of North America in the year 1800. And I have a couple of questions that I want to ask you. And all I really want you to do is, after I ask the question, just pause the video for a second, think about the answer, and then play the video to see what the answer is and just see if you got it right. You don't have to write anything down, you're just thinking about it. So, looking at the map on the right, the first question is which other countries claimed territory on the continent of North America? So, besides the United States, what other countries in North America do you see? So, pause the video and think about that for 1 second. All right, so the answer is Spain, Britain, France, and Russia. So if you notice, if we look at the key up here, Spain is the lighter territory, okay? So Spain is to the south of us here, south of the United States, and further west as well, okay? Florida here too, or what becomes Florida. Britain has land north of the United States, which is now Canada. France owns land right next to where the United States is. Remember, United States is right here. So right next to the United States, France owns this pretty big piece of land that's pretty much the same size as the United States was during that time. And then Russia does have some land that they own up further north. Okay, so good job. If you answer that question correctly, we're going to move on to the next question. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to ask the question. I want you to pause the video, think about it, and then press play to see if you got it right. So the next question is, which countries did the United States share a border with? So that means, here's the United States right here. What other countries directly touched the United States land? Okay, take a look at the key to help you. Pause the video and then press play when you're ready. All right, so our answer is France. So as we just said before, here's the United States and here's France. So here's the border between the two right here. Britain, as we said before, Britain is to the north. So here's the border between the United States and Britain. And then Spain, remember we said before that what is now Florida, that used to be owned by Spain. So they're directly to the south of the United States. So good job if you got that one correct. All right, so one of the biggest concepts that we're going to talk about with westward expansion is called manifest destiny. So, manifest destiny was the belief that the United States and its people that live there were destined to settle the entire continent of North America. So, they were destined to move all the way west to the Pacific Ocean. So, I'm just going to go back for 1 second so you can see the map. So, here's where the United States was in 1800. And people started to believe in manifest destiny and believe that they should spread and own all of this land going west until they got to the Pacific Ocean. So that's manifest destiny. So that's going to drive Americans to want to move westward. It's also going to create new forms of transportation because people are going to need to get from what is the United States in the 1800s to what becomes the United States. And when people move further west, 50, 60 years later, they're going to need to be able to get to the West Coast. So the last question I have for you is going to be a little bit different. You are actually going to, when the video is over, you're going to go to step 2 on the HyperDoc, and you're going to answer this question in our Google Classroom discussion area. So you can click the link from the HyperDoc to get there, Or if that doesn't work, you can simply just go to your Google Classroom homepage and click the Social Studies Discussion Classroom there and find the question. So the question is, using this map that we just took a deeper look at, and the two questions before. So, thinking about the countries that own territory in North America and the countries that border the United States. The question is, what kinds of conflicts do you think might arise as Americans begin to expand across the continent following the idea of manifest destiny? So, right now, you're just making a prediction, you're taking a guess. Do you think there will be conflicts, and what types of conflicts might occur? You might also want to mention, even though France owns territory to the west and Spain owns territory to the south, there are also other groups of people that live here too. So you might want to think about those groups of people and how they could be impacted when you go to answer this question. Okay, so that's all from me for today. So you can move on to step 2.